All right, it is the end of the week, and it is probably the single craziest week I've ever had as a teacher. I don't have the exact numbers yet, but I know that students made a solid six figures several days in a row. We might have broken past seven figures overall on the week. I'll figure that out later. For now, I'm still trading. We're still have a few potential trades. I want to just go over a few speculative stocks that I'm looking at heading into the weekend. But first, I got to give props to so many students. I haven't had time. I didn't do the video yesterday. I'm sorry. Devour 34 trades of PTBI today, realized gains of $1,387, up roughly $1,200 after commission. Started with 400 in my account this morning. That is fantastic. That's a little bit of over trading, but when you can triple your account in one morning, do it. Here is Heck 520 made 200 bucks on SYMX and 2,000 on PTBI. This was, I guess, I don't know, Wednesday night. Here is Sarah in PTBI 685 out at 930. Claudio says, dude, $1,500 profit from yesterday. Today's trades with a $3,000 account. Thanks, Tim. You the man. No, Claudio, you the man. All I can do is share the patterns that I've learned. You have to make the trades. Okay? A lot of people ask me, Tim, can you make the trades for me? No. I teach you the rules. I teach you the patterns. Sometimes I screw up. Sometimes I miss a trade. But as you can see, more and more students are getting it. No other chat room or newsletter has this many students banking. I will tell you that. You might have a few people here or there, but this is widespread, and I really think that my videos are finally being watched and really understood. Here is Chemo. Bought GEVO at 380, out at 460. This actually hit 7 today. This is from yesterday. Everyone was pumped about GEVO yesterday morning. Optimus Prime in at 417, out at 461. JP Dragon made 600 bucks. Naldo was in at 4. Hopefully he's still holding because it hit 7 this morning. Rita was in at 418, out at 5. Starless in at 450, out at 521. Sold too early, but glad to be on the right side, even if I was a little late. Mac Daddy, this is awesome. Happy to play it safe. Made $2,300 in an hour. I tweeted that yesterday. I think that's a pretty good hourly rate for anybody, no matter what your job is. Here's Thomas. Was in at 460, out at 530. I'll take $700. Can't wait to see any other runners. Invest 126 was in on SYMX at 180, out at 190. Easy 500. Cool. I made a few hundred on SYMX. Bud Fox bought GEVO at 339, and this thing went to 5 that day, and then 7 today. I don't know when Bud Fox sold, but I wanted to copy and paste it. This is just me trying to copy a few things that I see in chat. I know I'm missing hundreds more comments, but I can't keep track. Here is Naldo in at 4, out at 554. Studying really pays off. Thanks to my mentor. Aw, you're too sweet. NB Kramer, 1,000 shares at 418, out at 435. Then second time in at 465, out at 502. Made 500 bucks. That's okay. You don't have to just make one trade. You can go in and out. Here's the chosen one. He made $1,000 in an hour. Ariopa made 160 for a small account. That's okay. We all have to start somewhere, Ariopa. Don't feel bad. Here is Bull Moon, Bullman. I don't even know these screen names. In at 424, out at 535. Being a good nut-free choir boy today. That's straight out of my DVDs. Castrated choir boy. I don't mind playing it safe. Here is Inolette made 300. Rita another 400. Here is C-Pit in at 511, out at 549. Was just accepted in the Tim Challenge. Congratulations. We don't accept everybody. We're overwhelmed right now. It's not just about paying for your tuition. It's about, are you going to be a dedicated student? I don't have time for people who aren't going to be dedicated and who aren't ready to follow instructions. Here is War Dog, made 50 cents. You said 84, made nearly $1 a share. Robin DeHood, I don't even know. This is a lot. But he bought the How to Make Millions DVD, watched it, made enough profits to buy my first month's subscription to Tim Alerts. I like it. You use your profits to invest in your education. Education is key. I know a lot of you guys don't want to pay for education. You're like, let me make profits first. That's not how it works. you need to have a framework and knowledge in your head before you can consistently profit. This is cool. V Bansol says, didn't trade GEVO, but learned its spikeability by its low float and short percent of float. Exactly. This is straight out of my spikeability DVD. We've delivered the first 3 hours so far. I'm working on it. I'm sorry it's taking a while, but I'm a perfectionist. And now this week just added a whole new chapter. This is pretty sweet. Surject just made my largest profit ever on my third penny stock, in at $4.97, out at $4.30, with 800 shares, over $250 profit in 15 minutes. Good start, man. Here is Rossis. He says, ka-ching, $100 in 3 minutes. Asiak made $900 in profit. Night Kid slept in, and he still made $1,000. Eric made 55 cents a share. Patricio, I love this, was in the 3s, out in the 5s, made nearly $2 a share on a small position. Brandon made $1,000 in 10 minutes. Lucas made 500 euros on a 2,500 euro account. Stephen, first day of trading, made $1,000. Don't get spoiled, Stephen. This is not every single day. Benjamin shorted PTBI at 920. And for those of you keeping track, I mean, he shorted right in here somewhere, and it dropped all the way to the 6s. So that's fantastic volatility. I shorted in the 9s also. Nanosuna, GEVO, SYMX, $800 profits today. Optimus Prime, 250 in the morning, 200 right now. Sarah bought GEVO at 319, out at 460, and then overnight in at 540. I'm pretty proud of her. Bright Light in at 418, been holding since. This is when, it went to 7 the next day. Palmer was in CERE and excited when I saw the weakness, just as you commented. A penny gain, but negative per commissions. Thanks for the warning. It's down 25 cents. I included this because it's not a big dollar profit. It's actually a small loss, but sometimes when you're playing momentum stocks and they don't keep going, you gotta get out quickly. CERE had momentum, but it lost it very, very quickly. And I know a lot of people will like to hold this stock and they'll say, oh, maybe one day it'll come back. You cannot afford to have that, okay? You cannot afford to just wait and hope. Too many people I know do that. Most of these stocks are never going to come back. So play the momentum on the way up, but if it's not staying up, you got to get out. And I'm glad Palmer broke even instead of losing. Voya Tukov made my first $1,000, $1 a share gain. Awesome. Sin City trading in at 385, out at 437, locking in profits. This was Sin City saying, thanks, Tim, all due to your teachings. Well, thank you, Sin City Trading. I love it when you guys watch my videos. This one is perhaps my favorite comment of the day. Angry Pirate just left it. Stayed patient with a position at 588 on GEVO. Had to get out. Up 1,287 on GEVO for the day. Hit my goal and doubled my trading account in 2 weeks from 5 to 10,000 with just under 30 trades. Great motivation to the golf course I go. And that is fantastic. He is a trading challenge student. So he just paid for his entire trading challenge in 2 weeks. So I know a lot of you guys don't want to invest in your education. You can make it back very, very quickly. And then you have the education that lasts you forever. Anyways, let's get to these stocks that are in play right now. PTBI is still my #1 stock that I'm watching. George Soros invested in it. I was buying it in here in the 360s after hours and 380s. I sold too soon. And then I was shorting it. I think my first shorts were right around here at 970. I covered too soon. But overall, this is the volatile chart that you need. Right now, it's mid-range, in between 10 and 4-ish, right at 7. I don't know what it does. I don't trade stocks mid-range. If you look at VLTC, it's also mid-range. It's not doing much. So stay away from stocks when they're mid-range. ARNI is actually a new billionaire play. Seeking Alpha highlighted it in here that George Soros was a 10% owner. And this thing, it spiked from like 60 cents to like $1.20. I just bought it again in here in the low 80s. I wanted to try and get it in the 70s. One of my students sent it to me. Thank you, Mark. I didn't even see this run up. It went up so fast and came down. And then I saw the Seeking Alpha article that my student Mark sent me. Fantastic dip buy. now I wanted it to go over $1, but it stopped right at $1, and now it's kind of double top. So I got out. I made, I don't know, like 1,000 or two. This has potential next week because they're presenting at a conference, and the abstracts for the conference are due on May 13th. So next Wednesday. So look for possible movement on Monday or Tuesday or on Wednesday, depending on what they say in their abstracts. If the abstract is very positive, then the Soros news gets considered more, and this might really spike to more. But play it very carefully. It moves, and it moves fast. It doubled, and then it went down 30%, and now it's up 20%. So try and buy it on dips if you can. I wouldn't chase it on the way up unless the abstract is very positive and unless it has big volume. GEVO has been the biggest winner the past few days. This company, really, ignore this chart. This is not an accurate chart. It's a weird penny stock. It's been going down pretty much forever. And I did not buy it because, frankly, it never has held its gains. It always has one-day spikes. But this time the volume is huge. And, in this speculative bull market, some of the worst companies you ever see have really done well. So this one kind of flipped where it's never done well in the past, and now because so many short sellers were like, oh, it's not going to hold its spikes, I saw a lot of people in other chat rooms shorting this in the low fives, and it got squeezed all the way to 7 today. Right now it's at 6-ish, so again, it's mid-range between the 5 and the 7. I don't know what it does. Same thing with ICLD. This stock has never held its gains, and so I didn't buy it. And again, so many wannabe short sellers are shorting these stocks too early. Just because I'm not buying a stock does not mean that it's necessarily a short. There's a lot of potential for the stock to just do nothing. So I've done nothing with ICLD or GEVO, and I would be scared shitless to try and short it. CELH and JIDG are pretty cool. First, let me talk about JIDG. This stock in the past few days has become a multi-billion-dollar company. Not that it's like trading so much like the next, Apple or something, just because there's so many billions of shares outstanding. This is now, I believe, a several billion-dollar company. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it can't go higher. So this is a potential short, but there's no reason necessarily to short it. I can't even find shares to short, so I don't really care about it. I'm just watching it. I think it's funny. CELH is mid-range in between this. This is an undiscovered billionaire play. Li Ka-shing has invested in it, and it's hanging right here in like the 310 range, below the ultimate resistance at 350 and recent resistance at 320. I was buying it in here, dip buying it in the 230s. I was accused of pumping this. I'm not pumping this. I just like dip buying billionaire plays. And now, they're reporting earnings next week. I really don't like investing ahead of earnings because you don't know what they're going to say. But with this one, I'm going to watch it closely into the close. It's up nicely, nearly 20% today on decent volume. Earnings are going to be on Monday. So I'll probably wait till Monday and see what the earnings are before buying it. But if it starts uptrending and breaking past 320, 325, I might take a small position. There are some big buyers here at 3 and 295 that protect you on the way down. But I like this a lot better when I was buying in the 230s, in the 240s, and the 260s, my several buys. Now it's a little riskier because you're bumping up towards the high end of the range, and earnings might suck. You can't really trust this company. So just be careful on all of these. We have had a record-breaking week, but don't just say, oh my God, Tim, I'm so excited. Let me just start buying everything. All of these stocks are speculative. We're very late in a bull market. I'm glad that many of you guys have ridden the momentum, but do not be afraid to lock in profits. If you're invested in CELH on the dip buys in the 230s or the 240s, consider selling some or even all ahead of earnings when you have an unpredictable event like that. Why risk it if you have solid profits? I love locking in profits. This is how I became a multimillionaire. I've played it far too safe on far too many plays, but hopefully what you're learning is that it's okay to play it safe and sell too early or cover too early, as long as you can make 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 here or there. A lot of people say, Tim, this is such small money. Go for bigger money. You're a millionaire. No, This is how I've made my millions. This is how my several millionaire students have made their millions. Just making $1,000 or $2,000 at a time. I know it's confusing. This is why I have video lessons DVDs. Most recently, watch my How to Make Millions DVD. It's an overview of everything that I teach and how to actually grow an account into millions of dollars within a few years. It is possible. It's not a scam. If you don't believe me, then just don't learn. Don't waste my time. I have too many dedicated students. I have too much going on. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see you guys in the chat room. Thank you.